Good morning and happy Monday. Happy belated Father's Day for all of those like me who enjoy that day so much. I think I did everything that everyone around me wanted to do. They had a great Father's Day, therefore I had a great Father's Day. Anyway, listen, I want to circle back on something that I've talked about in the past. And before you hit the delete button, because you hate the fact that I repeat myself every now and then, hear this one out. I've talked in the past about business cards and the value of business cards. And I think it's kind of an afterthought these days. I remember when fax machines became a thing, you had to put your fax number on your card, and we had to design for that. Then there was the mobile phone, then there was the website, then there was the email, and suddenly it's like, my God, this is like more than just something that can fit on a 2-inch by 3.5-inch space. And I want to just point out to you that the need to have a good business card, one that starts a conversation, because that's really your goal. You understand that? You get that? Your goal in a business card is to start a conversation. Might be something in the stock. You know, I've been handed a business card before and said, wow, this is a really weird stock. What is this? Boom, there you go. Now you're in a conversation. Instead of just saying, hey, thanks very much. My goal is to have someone say, tell me about this. Tell me more about this. And that's what you should be aiming for as well. I know someone who put their card on Tyvek, and you can't tear it. You can't tear Tyvek. And there was something on there about, you know, if you want to do business, if you don't want to do business with me, tear up this card. And they couldn't tear up the card. Funny stuff, right? So I want to show you my new card. I had this card since I went back on my own back in November. I've had this card with my little victory guy, with the guy standing up with his hands over his head. And I changed the card recently, and we really had some fun with it. Now, this is not the fun part, but I'll show it to you anyway. So there's the front of my business card. There's my new logo. That's what's on the cover of the book. And we designed something for the back, and I said, well, yeah, but how? Here's an idea. So now that, again, there's the front, there's the back. And I thought that's going to be really clever. And it's worked. People have now taken that, and they flip it over, and they're like, oh, that's great. Isn't that cool? Tell me what you're doing now. I've recently moved back. You're looking at my office now, my new office. And I've recently moved back to a town that I lived in for many, many years. And I got to, this weekend especially, I got to see a whole bunch of people that I haven't seen in a long time. And they said, what are you doing? And I kind of, you know, I told them I'm an author, and I've got some books out there and still doing some training and blah, 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 blah. And I handed them a card, and every single one of them took it, flipped it over, and it was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. Tell me more about this. And I thought, there it is. What are you doing with your business card? What information? Maybe it's just a line. I used to have a line at the bottom of my business card that said, a good vendor is as important as a good customer. And people would say, what does that mean? Boom. Now you're in the conversation. Anything that you can put on there. You know, if you get an email from me, it says it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great. That to me defines sales. And when people see that and they comment, now you're in the conversation. So it can be a logo, it could be a paper stock, it could be a color, it could be something fancy, it could be something plain, you know, whatever it is. But you want to have that wow factor just from a business card. We need to take every advantage that we can these days. It is so hard to get someone's attention. It's so hard to get into a conversation, so hard to get in front of them that we have to do everything we can, and business card is a part of that. Okay, one more thing. Thank you to everyone who sent me questions for the buyer. A couple weeks ago, at the end of my sales tip, I said, hey, if you have questions for the buyer that lives next to me, I've given it to her. She is working on them, and we should have something probably in one of the printing impressions columns coming up in the next couple of months. But thank you to everyone there. And to the rest of you, have a great selling week. Keep your foot on the gas. You got 3 more weeks. 18, 22. 2 more weeks until the week that includes the 4th of July. So you want to get out there and make those extra sales calls. Are you listening to me? Me too, me included. I've got to get out there and keep the gas pedal down. But I'm available if you need my help. Otherwise, have a great selling week. I'll talk to you next week.